All right, friends, how are you today? Aaron here, bringing your horoscope for Wednesday, the 22nd of May, 2019. Cruising along, fifth month of the year. The moon is going to be in Capricorn all day. Starting off in the morning in like the early teens, 15, 16 degrees, and then moving along, and then by the later hours of the day, nighttime, it's going to be meeting up with Saturn. It's going to be meeting up with the South Node. Going to be meeting up with Pluto. It's going to be forming a weird kind of semi-square to the Sun and to Mercury. Now, Mercury is moving in front of the Sun, which is like this Prometheus energy, which is, Prometheus is the messenger that stole the fire from the gods and gave it to man. Okay. So it's just like we're rushing ahead to deliver this message. And this message is going to allow a great breakthrough to come in, a lot of learning, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of healing. As well, we have a perfect square to Mars and Uranus that kind of started yesterday and is leading into today, which is also like, when we learn to adapt, when we learn to swim, instead of, there's so much friction, we are going to strengthen our muscles and become better swimmers. So we're learning these new techniques, we're adapting. So it's like, I don't know, this, like, I'm thinking of like an old kung fu guy, that's got like this blindfold on, or, what is the one with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bloodsport, and the guy throws the little pill he crushes in his hand in his eyes, he goes blind for a minute, and it's just like, okay, I've gotta ignore these eyes and hone in on this new skill, this intuition. And the more I focus on that new skill, the more I focus on this intuition, the greater the breakthrough comes, because now I mean, it's just, this is a brand new skill I get to learn and get to utilize, and it allows me to go to places that I wasn't able to go to before. Once I get past like the weird spot of meditation, you get past the daunting idea of like, I have to sit here and clear my head for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, and you kind of dive deeper into knowing your own body and breathing, your breath, the connection with your breath, connection with your spiritual self. And then it becomes this kind of playground. So it's just like we're getting past that hump to where meditation seems frightening, but now it's just like I'm excited to get up and meditate, or to meditate before I go to bed, to take this moment, even if it's 5 minutes, to myself. So again, I'm not just talking about meditation here when I'm talking about this connection, but any kind of form like that. Meditation's a great tool, but any kind of form of a practice, of a skill like this, where we're taking action into learning something new and adapting. Okay, let me show you the chart just to show you kind of what all of this is. So Mars right here, 4 degrees of Cancer. This is what we're talking about, this learning to swim, this being blind, listening, and, this connection here to Uranus. This is our release. This is our big release in the zodiac, is Uranus, the breakthrough, the great awakener. And that being in Taurus is again, this like reinventing the wheel. Okay, hasn't been there in a very long time, about 84 years, since 1934. So this is the major breakthroughs. And then this, it's like today's a day where we become the messenger. Okay, we're not necessarily waiting for, we've been like, when Mercury's back here, we're looking forward to the sun. We're looking forward to getting to this point. Now we've reached this point and we're moving ahead. So today, and further here, this is this semi-square I was talking about, that red line. So all this gunk up here, this is all this like emotional release stuff, it's like, I'm getting the work done, not really emotional about it. I can't afford to be emotional about it. I've got to, that kind of patience on a plane that we were talking about yesterday, and then we get to be the ones where we're getting this kind of great release in. And so the work that we did on Friday, Saturday, this full moon weekend, over here in Scorpio energy, then this new knowledge we learned, and then we come to this release point over today. And this leads all the way into tomorrow. So this leads from Wednesday all the way into Thursday morning. We have this really nice kind of emotional release happening. That's just like a conclusion to what started over the weekend. Yeah. And then that brings us these new messages, or we get to bring these new messages. And then with these new messages, again, we're learning to adapt. We're learning to, new sight, new vision, whatever, or blind vision. We're hearing, we're sensing. And then we're growing. And that's the last connection here, this Chiron connection to the sun and to Mercury. And that's going to be happening for the next couple of days here. This is going to be happening all week. So the information that's coming into us is really allowing for our own, personal growth, personal knowledge. It's going to really help us out into getting where we want to go, and the vision of ourselves that we see. And we still, I'll show you this one last time. As Saturn here is retrograde, as Pluto is retrograde, okay, and Jupiter is retrograde, all of these are moving backward, which brings us closer and closer to perfection with the aspect to Neptune. And the Neptune is our big dreams one, okay? So again, this is going to happen 2 more times. This sextile here and this perfect square is going to happen 2 more times. So it's just like we are learning our expansion. We are learning our limits. We are learning that we have not seen it all yet. We're learning that the best is yet to come, that there's a lot more out there for us to simply like that Mars-Uranus aspect that we're talking about today, it's a great breakthrough. This honing this new skill, and it's going to allow us these new opportunities that we once didn't have before. So with this new knowledge comes all of this new responsibility and furthering the greater picture, getting deeper into our own authenticity. So it's a great day. It's a great Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate all the support. We'll see you tomorrow.